everyone and welcome to my channel. If you're new here, I'm Irene and I love all kinds of DIY, especially thrifting and upcycling projects, as well as making cool decor pieces out of Dollar Tree items and other fun stuff. Today I'm participating in What Would You Make challenge. It is hosted every month by Zaina at OK at Home and Connie with Connie's Creative Creations, and this month guest host is CJ at CJ DIY. Please go and check out their videos and also make sure to check out the challenge playlist for many wonderful DIY wooden creations. I'll leave the links for all of them in the description box below. And as the summer season is nearly here with all that outdoor parties and picnics, I thought it would be a nice idea to make some outdoor tabletop stuff. And so today I'm going to be making the cutest drink dispenser stands ever. So let's go ahead and get started. I'm going to make this stand for a drink dispenser in the shape of a chair, and I'll start with making a base. I'll make the chair legs out of a 3/4 by 3/4 inches square dowel rod. I'm cutting it with a slight bevel to get splayed legs, as this will make the stand more stable and will make it look nicer. I've made a template for doing this. I'll link it in the description box as usual. Best is to make such cuts using a miter box, so as you can set any angle you like. I'll leave links for possible options for you. And I'm making the upper chair frame out of the same square dowel. Two parts of the frame have a trapezoid shape. The angles here are the same as on the legs, and I'm marking them out using the same template. And I'm cutting the other two parts at a 90 degrees angle. Probably now all is not very clear, but later when I'll assemble the parts together, you'll get it. Then I'm making the lower frame parts, pretty like the upper one, but here I'm using a thinner 1/2 by 3/4 pine molding. So here are all the parts: the 4 legs, the 2 trapezoidal parts and the 2 rectangular ones. Before assembly, I'm sanding the ends lightly to remove any chips after cutting. I'm attaching the legs to the upper trapezoidal parts of the frame. Here I'm using wood glue. I let the legs dry well and then attach the lower trapezoidal parts, which I made out of a thinner molding. I've marked out the places where I'm going to install these parts in advance, and in order for them to sit exactly in place, I'll have to sand off the ends a bit. Now I have the 2 sides of the chair and I'm going to add a 3rd dimension. I'm attaching the rectangular frame parts, first to one side part, and then I'm placing the second part on top. I'm adjusting everything to be nice and even, and to have a good connection you want to use clamps or put something weighty on top to press it down while drying. I'm using a dumbbell weight here. Here I have a nice pretty stool, and next I'm going to make a seat for it. I'll make the seat, the armrests and the backrest for the chair out of a wider plank. This is a 1/4 by 1 1/8 pine molding. I'm cutting the slats for the seat, adjusting them to the size of the frame. I'm cutting off the planks for the curved parts, which are the armrests and the backrest, making them with a small margin for making the cutouts later. I'm cutting the pieces for the back, making a bevel at the same angle as the legs have to make the back slightly inclined. You can also cut them straight and sand off the ends later to get the desired angle, which is easier. Next, I'm placing the pieces for the back onto the template. As you can see, the side planks are made out of 2 pieces. This is because I'm going to attach the armrests here. I don't touch these lowest pieces yet, and I'm attaching the 2 crossbars on the rest of the planks. I've cut them out of 1/2 by 3/4 molding. After the back is dry, I'm placing the template over and tracing the upper curved edge onto it. And now I'll cut out all the curved parts using a jigsaw. You can also do without a jigsaw, just make a straight back, which is easier, and sand off the edges of the back and the armrests. After the parts are cut, I'm giving them a good sand, rounding all the edges and corners to make them nice and smooth. I'm using a sander here, but you can do it by hand as well. By the way, I forgot to tell you in the beginning, I've used 3 96 planks per one chair. 1 3/4 by 3/4, 1 1/2 by 3/4, and 1 1/4 by 1 1/8. And this is about $13 in total at Home Depot. Actually, they're about half this price where I live, so maybe you'll find cheaper options too. I'll leave all the links in the description, but of course you can use other plank sizes depending on what you have on hand. Next, I'll attach the armrests to the back. As I've said, I made a small bevel at the ends along the entire back, so the armrests are slightly tilted. Then I'll attach the seat planks to the frame. The first part is shorter than the other ones. I'm going to add spaces for the armrests here. I'll cut them in place, making the size which will let the armrests lay horizontally. It's hard to make the right size in advance here because all the bevels are not very precise. I'm attaching the spaces. I've made 2 chairs for 110 ounces and 1 gallon drink dispensers. And although the Titebond wood glue provides a super strong connection, since the 1 gallon drink dispenser is quite heavy when filled, I've decided to reinforce this stand by adding dowel pins. I'm cutting the dowels out of bamboo plant sticks bought at Dollar Tree. I'm drilling holes in the sides of the chair first. Here I'm using a 1/8 drill bit. You want to drill through the leg and go a little deeper into the frame so the hole is deep enough. I'm drilling the holes both against the upper and the lower frame. The main thing here is to hold the drill vertically when working, otherwise it would come out somewhere and instead of reinforcing the structure you will get, well, what you'll get. Next, I'm covering a piece of bamboo stick with glue and pushing it into the hole. You can help yourself with a hammer. It may be sticking out a bit, but it's okay, I'll cut it off with wire cutters later. After the sides, I did just the same with the front and the back of the chairs. The last thing to do is to add a small plank at the junction of the backrest with the seat behind, well, because the back was only attached to it at the ends of the planks, so I thought a little extra support is a good idea. After that, I'm applying wood filler around the dowels or dents if any. And after the wood filler has dried, I'm giving the chairs another good sand to make them nice and smooth. And they are ready for painting. I'm going to distress the chairs a little, and the smaller chair will be light colored, so I'm priming it dark gray to have a dark undertone for distressing. The large chair is going to be dark and I'm leaving it as is. The light wood color will be a good undertone for distressing here. I've chosen the colors to match the color of the serving dishes I have, and for outdoors I use the IKEA serving dishes in 3 colors. The dark blue, sage green and turquoise. The dark blue chalk paint I had on hand was just the right shade to match, so I'll use it for the larger chair. As for the smaller chair, I've chosen a sage color. This is one of my favorites. I'm using it quite a lot. It took me 2 coats to make a good and even shade with no spots. After the paint has dried, I'm distressing it, scratching all the edges and corners with a fine sandpaper to reveal the contrasting undercolor. I wanted to get very delicate distressing here, so I'm not too zealous. The final touch is to seal the stands with a matte polyacrylic sealer, and we're done. And, as I promised, a couple of drink recipes. The first one is an alcohol-free mojito. For a 110 ounces dispenser, you will need a large bunch of mint, 3 limes, 2 lemons, and a cup of sugar. You can make it without limes as well, but limes will make it more fragrant. Tear the mint into small pieces directly into the jar. Then pour sugar. You can add just a part of it, usually just the amount of sugar to taste. Now the mint leaves need to be crushed with sugar so that the mint gives more juice. You can use a wooden crusher, I just used a wooden spoon. It's all about the citrus. Cut 1 lime and half a lemon into thin slices and put them aside, they are for decorating later. I've cut very thin slices, the more the better the jar will look. The remaining citruses need to be rolled well on a table so they give more juice. Cut them in halves and squeeze the juice using a juicer or just your hands. I have a very simple juicer here. Be sure to remove all the seeds. Add all the squeezed juice to the mint syrup and stir well. Add the slices cut for decoration into the jar and add some water. You can use still or carbonated water. I like the second option better. Mojito is ready. The second recipe is almost like Fanta, but a healthier and natural one. You will need oranges and lemons. I like to add grapefruit for decoration. If you like grapefruit bitterness, you can add grapefruit juice to the drink as well. Cut all citrus fruits in half. Set aside 1 piece of each type for decoration and squeeze the juice from the rest. Everything is as in the first recipe. I actually used 3 oranges and 3 lemons for 1 gallon dispenser. For a smaller one, you can use 2.5 and use the other halves for decoration. Pour the squeezed juice into the jar. I had a lot of small seeds in oranges, so I filtered the juice through a strainer. Add sugar. For a 1 gallon jar, I also added a cup of sugar. Depending on what taste you like, you can put more or less. Cut the fruits into slices or cubes and put them in a jar with juice. It may look like the grapefruit doesn't add anything to the drink here, but in fact with grapefruit slices inside, the drink looks much more appetizing. Finally, fill the jar with water, again still or carbonated one. In the second case, it turns out really very similar to Fanta. Such homemade lemonades are always a big hit at outdoor parties. A huge plus is that here all vitamins and nutrients are preserved. I've seen a lot of lemonade recipes where the juice is boiled, which is bad for vitamins, you know. Well, and the chair stands are just super cute, I think. They are also very stable. You will not be afraid of knocking over the jar. And any party drinks like lemonades or sangria or mojito or any other summer cocktails will look just great here. You can decorate the chairs in a style that suits your serving. For example, you can make them white and decorate with octopuses and turtles images for a sea-themed party serving. The possibilities are so many. And it's a great table decor piece as well. You can be sure everyone will pay attention to it. So I hope you liked my drink dispenser stands. Please let me know what you think of them down below. Thanks for watching this video and we'll see you in the next one. Bye!